Andy, it is hot out here. I don't know what it's like in you guys got a lot of rain, haven't you?
We did, but it hasn't been like it's been better the last week. Like it comes in the the late hours, hasn't been too bad. But our humidity broke a little bit. We had a week of unbelievable thickness last week. It started to taper off. It was pretty nice yesterday. I went for a run yesterday. It was warm, dry-ish. Pretty nice, pretty nice. But it's warm for sure.
Yeah, it is definitely gosh, you go outside and it's just it's like a magnifying glass right on you. It's just kills you. So
So I like that, Dave. But I'm an Arab, so it's in my DNA differently. Maybe I mean, like I like that hot sun, but I come from a people of the sand. So we're like that, I guess.
I like it too, except I have to change my shirt like 3 times a day. I go out for a walk in the morning with my dogs, and I have to change it, and then I go out later and do something. I have to change it. I don't mind it, and that's how it was in Florida. I just like for a period of time, you lived with a sweaty shirt all day,
Yeah.
but just woo, it's been tough the last couple.
It's only July, buddy. You got about 60 more days to go before you can start to see a break.
I know, because what my wife and I were talking about yesterday is September now is no, I mean maybe the humidity cuts down a little bit, but the heat's still there.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
Take it. We'll take it.
all right, Andy, let's roll into some topics. Again, for all our listeners out there, we were not here on Friday. I took some time off, and Andy just said, "You know what? I'm going to take some time off too."
I
So
did, Dave. I prepped myself. I had my notes and everything ready in the morning. I was like, I'm going to do this, and then I like it. Just the format to do it solo for me. I don't know how it is when you're alone, Dave, but for me, it takes me longer to do it alone. Like, and I put it off for a little bit, and then I was like, I can't do this. So I let you and our listeners down on Friday, but I'm glad you're back. So I'll do this the way it's supposed to be done in tandem. So grateful to have your return.
yeah, Andy, I don't really prep at all. Like I come on this pod and I just start rambling. That's my preparation. So you probably overthought it. If you would have just come on and just spoke with your mind, you would have been fine.
All right, I'll keep that in mind for the future.
All right. All right, Andy, let's get into some topics. Andy, we're gonna start with Superman.
Do it.
I saw it yesterday with my wife.
Yes.
My kids are all out of town.
Yeah.
Um, so we went and saw it yesterday. Here's my thing. I liked it. I didn't love it.
Okay.
I
Okay.
didn't love it. And so what did I like? I liked Superman. I thought he was awesome. Like I thought this was a really good Superman.
Okay.
I liked Lois Lane.
Yeah.
Les Luthor was quite like diabolical.
Yeah.
And I liked how we didn't have to rehash the family thing.
Yeah.
I didn't like, oh, and I love is it Mr. Terrific?
Terrific. Yeah, he was cool. He was
He
cool.
was awesome. Like I really liked his character. So I like those five things. And that's what made me think it was a good movie. Like
Yeah.
this was a good movie. But I was hoping to love it more. And what I didn't love is one, I still thought like so heavy on the CGI stuff. Like it was just heavy on that.
Yeah.
I didn't like how like Lex Luthor's plan was already in progress. Like what I love about Lex Luthor is like it I would have loved to see a little bit more of the diabolicalness of it. Yes, it was quite like a plan and it was bad, but like whereas I didn't want to see Superman like cut through 3 years or like all those years. And I love how they opened it. You mentioned that. I love how they opened it, but I didn't love how they just went into Lex Luthor's plan's been going on for years. Well, I would have liked to seen something a little bit more on that. And I didn't love how Superman got his ass kicked the whole movie. Like he literally like up until the last like 30 seconds, he got his ass kicked the whole time. And that's just oh, the other thing I did really like too. And this is what I did love. Crypto was awesome.
Yeah.
The dog was awesome. And they nailed that he was a bad dog. I mean, and this is like every trait in my dog was seen in crypto.
Like,
So that was my initial thoughts. I've got some more thoughts, but Andy, I know you really liked it. I mean, and you were emotional. I didn't get emotional at all in this movie.
well, that's because my body's broken. I get emotional for no reason. But I think these are all fair points. I think Mr. Terrific was great. I also like the other Justice Gang
Yeah, yeah.
characters. Right? I thought that was fun. So I think they did a good job there. I didn't mind the skipping the story. I think we got, hey, here's the good guy, here's the bad guy. Here's Lex Luthor, and he's in the middle of just doing mischievous things, and he hates Superman, and he's trying to, without trying to give a spoiler, but he's trying to, help himself at the expense of everybody else, and he's a dick. And so I felt like we got that, and I thought the actor did a really good job. By the way, if you haven't seen the Lex Luthor actor in the movie Juror Number Two, good movie, worth checking out. But I didn't mind that part at all. I thought that worked. And again, without trying to give a spoiler away, the fact that Superman was getting beat up a little bit, I thought was a nice twist because he is the all-powerful superhero. He is the most powerful, right? And so you gotta find a way to bring him down a little bit. And I think James Gunn was trying to start right off the bat that, hey, look, this guy's amazing and he's the most powerful of all of the metahumans, but even he can have a rough day. And so getting his ass kicked a little bit, being saved by a mischievous dog, I thought it was a fun way to introduce him to the world as like, he's not unstoppable. So now again, there's a little more to that I don't want to get into because I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't watched it yet. But I thought it was well done there. So I can appreciate that.
Okay, yeah, it was like again, I thought it was good, and I didn't not enjoy it. I mean, there was a period where I was like, ah, this is a little slow right now, and so on. But I thought it did what I think it should have needed to do, which was reset. And our guy Peacemaker made a scene. There was a reveal at the end too about who may be coming next. I don't think it's that huge of a secret, but it was good to see. I just like. I can appreciate James Gunn for some of these unusual characters.
Yeah,
I can't I have a hard time with James Gunn doing that to Superman a little bit. And so like there were some really cool James Gunn scenes
yeah,
that he did really good with Mr. Terrific and Lois Lane. There was a great musical scene on that part, and I thought that was awesome. But I think it was a little too goofy or tongue in cheek with Superman himself. And that's just where I kind of like I don't know. I liked it. I just didn't love it, and I was hoping to love it a little bit more. But I probably won't. I probably won't go see that again. I don't like. It's not that type of movie, I guess.
yeah. Well, I think that's fair. But did you feel like it was was it a good introduction to James Gunn's DC universe? I mean, like it's as opposed to Zack Snyder's movies, right? In the last sort of DC reset, did you feel like this set up what's to come, what we should expect from the DCU here, or did you feel like it was still missing a few things in that sense too?
No, I think it did a good job there. And look, Zack Snyder was dark. Like he was so dark about like getting into like, and I just feel like there's a balance. And I don't think James Gunn can do this type of quirky movie with all of those movies. Like you can't have that in all of them. So it'll be interesting to see how that kind of evolves
Yeah,
and whether any of that changes. If he does, I don't think it's going to be. I think people are going to lose their patience with it. I think this is a good opening. Let's see where it goes from here. But I think I do feel like he needs to come with another strong character. Um, Whereas I think they're going with second tier characters, and I just don't know if that's. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out.
all fair takes. I think there is a story to tell here, so we're going to get Peacemaker season two. That's supposed to be pretty fundamental to where a storyline is going as well. I thought for comic fans, the Green Lantern in this movie was Guy Gardner, and there have basically been three primary human-based or Earth-based Green Lanterns, and Guy Gardner may be the least known, but a complete tool. And I thought the actor playing Guy did a really good job being Guy Gardner, introducing this a little rougher around the edges Green Lantern. I thought, I thought the introduction of Hawkgirl was fun. So they had some smaller characters, less known characters, but I thought they were well played. Back to your point of Mr. Terrific, like most people don't know Mr. Terrific, but he was a great character in this movie. Like he was just a
Yeah.
very fun character in this movie. So I thought that was really well done. And I think we're going to see, I mean, we're going to see the mainline superheroes come in here. I'm sure we're going to see, James Gunn's take on Wonder Woman and The Flash and everybody else too. So we'll see where it goes. I thought it was a good reset. I thought the Zack Snyder universe really sucked. I thought it was just
Yeah. Yeah.
boring, way too long, painful to watch. Like it was just not good. Like you tell me there's a director's cut, and I was like, get me the hell out of here. I cannot endure 30 more minutes of this. I enjoyed this time. I enjoyed it. I was entertained. It was fun. It was easy to consume. I thought it had good story to tell. And I thought it was an enjoyable couple hours. And I think it sets things up nicely. So we'll see. We'll see where things progress. And if you get into it, or maybe not, we'll see. I believe James Gunn wrote it, directed it. I thought he did a great job personally.
Yeah, and we got Fantastic Four coming up this weekend.
Yep.
And that'll see. So Superman so far is through 2 weekends, it's 400 million. It's not quite the level of the new Jurassic Park movie. That's over 600 million. But that pulls a lot internationally. Superman doesn't really pull internationally. I think that's the big drop off. Uh, We'll see with Fantastic Four because these superhero movies used to hit $1 billion.
Yeah.
And Superman's not going to get there. It's probably maybe get to 700. Is that successful? Yeah, probably. But we'll see. All right, Andy, a topic we didn't get to, our last week's pod. We wanted to talk about AI. There's a couple interesting things going out on AI, not to mention, I guess, Elon Musk's AI, racist, homophobic type of AI. But we have a couple studies, a couple reports came out over the last couple weeks that I think is important. We've talked long about AI is so many ways garbage in, garbage out. Yeah, like just because AI can work in many different ways to be efficient and effective for organizations. Hey, I got a lot of numbers. I need to like help me make sense of these numbers and in that respect. In that way, it's going to be really great. But what we see and what we've seen is, kids are using it to, write papers
Yeah.
and even businesses are using it to write papers. And if you feed it garbage or if you feed it false papers, it's going to produce bad work. So this one of the latest studies that came out is about software developers and using AI to um, to help with their job. And what they found was the use of AI actually slowed them down
Yeah.
and became less effective. And why? Because you had to feed the AI. You had to then, tweak the AI. You had to make sure you were crafting the right questions for the AI. And then you had to read the output. All takes time that developers would just get in and do their stuff. So that's one report, and there's another report about women and stuff, and that I'll get to as well. But any thoughts where you're seeing some of these AI um, research and development stuff come out?
Yeah, I mean, I think the study on time, I think, was an interesting one because look, AI gets a lot of credit and hype that's undue, and it gets a lot of shit that maybe is undue. It is a tool, right? Like we like to see headlines and articles talk about, AI does this as though it is self-aware. It is not. It is consuming information and spitting out answers based on your prompt and how you ask that, how you frame that really affects things. And what you get back is requires validation, right? And so you get garbage when people throw things together and submit it as though like, hey, this is it. Like this is my chat GPT solution. It needs to be verified, validated, enhanced, cleaned up, whatever it might be. At the same time, right? If we produce something and we want to go back and refine it and we want to put the work in to make sure it's good, it does take time. And sometimes, if you're writing on something that you know personally, you can just crush that on your own pretty quickly. But to go back and validate all the links to the AI, make sure the flow is right, it does take time. So I think finding that balance of in this given project, this given effort, will this assist me or not? And I look for really big, heavy lifts. It can be a great assist, but for some things, it might not be all that we want it to be. I believe AI has a lot of value. I think there's a lot of help that it can provide. I use it on a regular basis for various things, but it does need to be verified and validated. And there are a lot of mistakes that exist because it's pulling from data that is all flawed because it's pulling from the internet. And so there's a lot of shit out there that it consumes and spits back out. Like you said, garbage in, garbage out. So you've got to make sure that it actually jives the way you want it to be. And it can take longer. So it is overhyped and it is sometimes unfairly beat up. And like that's reality.
Yeah, I mean, I've used it too, and I think it can be very helpful. Like, hey, I'm like, hey, summarize this for me. I got a lot of different top lines, summarize this for me. But I have to go back and make sure that they don't say something that is against what I was trying to say. It's because it can make mistakes. I mean, it's not perfect, and I think a lot of these places have prompts now. A lot of organizations who are using this are giving training to say, hey, you can't just accept it at face value. So a lot of stuff going on there. The other survey that came out, Andy, was a research tool, and it said that sometimes AI is. I'm struggling with this one, but I'll lay it out and I'll just get your thoughts on it. But they basically took a study of men and women. They had the same qualifications or generally the same experience levels, same type of background, and they asked the only difference was the gender, male versus female. And they asked the AI what the like salary should have been for those what those employee or individuals should request for salary. And for the women, it advised they took five different AI models, including ChatGPT, and said what should that salary be? And in almost all those cases, it advised the women were for requested lower salaries. Now, I mean, I don't know how much to read into that. Is it AI model, you know, gender biased. I don't know. I guess it's garbage in, garbage out on some of that stuff too. But on the other front of it is, what do we take away from that? Is somebody going to go, hey, I know I should ask for $200,000 versus $300,000? Does that really happen? If so, I think you probably are a little, I don't know, using it for the wrong purpose. So thoughts on that, Andy?
Well, I think what it shows is it demonstrates the flaws that are built into the way it computes the information, right? So not that somebody should take the advice of the AI in this case, but if you didn't do the comparative study and you were looking for advice, you would get different answers. And so it shows that it has bias in its response because again, it's based on what is available on the internet. And so that shows different salaries for different genders, different ethnicities, right? Different locations. And so there are flaws that are baked into the answers because of the way they're drawing the information. So I think it's a good demonstration of the fact that one, there really is a pay gap, right? I think it's something that some people still have a struggle to acknowledge, but like women get paid less than men for doing the same work and the same effort. That's important to identify. But two, when you are using artificial intelligence for solutions of some kind of answer, it is good to maybe ask it a few different ways, get additional information, but just like you typically would, like you seek advice and input from people. If I come to you, you give me a great answer, I might ask a second or third opinion, or same thing with a doctor, like you want to get a second or third opinion. And you might want to do the same thing with AI. Ask the question differently, put in some different considerations, see what kind of response you get back. Don't take it as a fact, take it as input and advice, and then go and make your best decision as a rational, logical, thought capable human being because it can give you bad answers. It can give you biased answers because it's based on what's out there on the internet, which has a lot of crazy shit, and it's based on reality where women are getting paid less than men.
Yeah. So it's all fair points. I think it's look, I mean, we've said this time and time again. This is the like the first inning of a nine-inning baseball game, and we're not even sure how many outs there are in the first inning. So, like, I think we're still early in the stages. People get this. It's going to get better. It's going to get stronger. It's going to get more informed. But like everything else, it's technology, and it can be flawed. And I think if we just take it as an absolute, as if this is some sort of all-knowing, all-powerful being, I think that's probably not the right approach to it. So, anyways, that was good topic to discuss. Anything more on that, Andy?
No, it's good. I mean, AI, like I said, it gets shit on by a lot of people. There's a lot of hate for LLMs and all things AI. There's a lot of fair frustration. There are some detrimental impacts from AI. We see that with students and younger people today, but there's also a lot of potential great value in it. And so I think just, you neither need to be all in nor all out. We can sort of take these things and work with them, like you said, first inning. Like it's okay. Like learn it, understand how to use it in useful ways, but also, don't put all your faith in it.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. So, all right, Andy, let's move on to our our as the taco turns segment. We welcome back in Mama Jabor. Now, she may have listened to that second one. I don't know. What do you think? Is Mama Jabor a Superman fan too?
I think maybe she's Superman curious. She's heard a
Okay.
few things, maybe a little Superman curiosity.
I think she would like Superman. I feel like she would.
Yeah.
So, okay, Andy, let's turn to the taco and a lot of news over the last couple days. One, more Epstein news, still no release of the files. Trump is being frustrated by Bondi, but he's the president. He should just like he can just release those if he wants to, because he's done a lot of other stupid shit. And so, like, why not? What's holding him back now? That's one. The Wall Street Journal came out with a pretty damning report about a birthday card that Trump had done for Epstein, that Trump immediately sued, News Corp of Rupert Murdoch and the Wall Street Journal for $10 billion. $1 billion just because that's what he does when he doesn't like what the media says. I don't think he's got much of a leg to stand on here. There's accurate reporting here. It's not like they're misleading anything. This is Donald Trump signed it. It's I don't know. Let's do it. But he's going to sue. I think when he sues, the plaintiff usually has to take the stand. So I don't know if Donald Trump is going to have to take the stand in this case, but I don't see them backing down on this. And then you had yesterday, Andy, um, Trump Social coming out about the Washington Commanders name and how he wasn't going to approve the stadium deal unless they changed the Washington Commanders back to the Washington Redskins. Because now all of a sudden he's a Native American fan and wants to make sure that their Native Americans have the Redskin name again. So Andy, I just don't know. It's all distraction from the president's approval ratings are really poor. This big beautiful bill is not going. It's going to be challenging, and this is all President Trump flood the zone. I don't know. What do you think, Andy?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to go into. It's
I
so
know.
like the biggest thing, the biggest story, and the one that he can't make about. He can talk about sports teams all he wants, and he can hate the Commanders name. Let's just start right there. The president of the United States directing businesses on how to run their businesses, what to name their teams, like that is so not the president's job. And if Americans think it's okay for the commander in chief to try and direct the affairs of business owners this way, like we are in a bad place as the United States of America. Like Donald Trump has no business telling owners of teams what the hell to call their teams. If the new Commanders owners want to name the team the Washington Ass Fuckers, they can name it the Washington Ass Fuckers. That's got nothing to do with Donald Trump's. Like that's nothing to do with him. Like stay out of it. It's not your business, man. Right? He's still sore because the NFL wouldn't let him buy a team because he's not a good businessman. So I mean that's nonsense. But the story that won't go away is the Epstein story. And like most of us don't like at this point really care. Of course, for anybody that was a victim, from Jeffrey Epstein and his band of brothers, like of course, like we like justice should be done to whatever that means, right? But as far as like the Donald Trump, did Donald Trump, like younger women, as long as it wasn't illegal, like I don't really care personally, right? That's his bit. I don't care. But the issue, like with so many others, Dave, just like it was Al Capone's taxes, right? Just like with Dick Nixon, it was the cover up. This story could kill this presidency. As stories are coming out now, Senator Dick Durbin, filed a letter to leaders within the administration of directed activity from the administration on manipulating the data in the Epstein reports. Right now, that is serious because if the government is hiding information that may be compromising to the President of the United States of America, that's a whole nother story. And to the president's fans, many of whom support him because he was going to reveal the truth of the deep state and expose the Epstein files and all the mischief that went on there, if he's in fact, criminal number one, right, and involved in all this stuff, like that's a big deal. And if the Department of Justice, if the FBI and others were involved in potentially trying to cover up presidential behavior, the president's behavior, but when he was a civilian, like that's really a big deal, right? So again, the crime itself might not be there, but the cover up could be an absolutely huge story. And every day it looks more and more like that's what's going on. And all this other stuff we're seeing is just distraction. Hey, don't pay attention to the Epstein stuff. Look at all this other stuff we're talking about. That's crazy. Like that's really dangerous. This could potentially down this presidency because if there were manipulative actions being taken by administration to cover things up, that is really dangerous.
Yeah, I mean it's a huge part of it, and I I don't know. I've seen Teflon Don now for like 8 years or however long we've seen him on the stage here. Just nothing seems to stick to this guy, but yet he still can't. What's like fascinating to me is this whole like we're gonna release the Epstein files. We're gonna release the Epstein files. Then they get in, they don't release it, and now it's the Democrats' fault.
Yeah.
Now it's Obama and Clinton and Biden. They all conspired against him. So I just want to see if I'm understanding this correct. So those Democrats conspired to dig up dirt to make up shit on Donald Trump. They didn't use it when he was going for president the first time.
Right.
They didn't use it when he was president the first time. They didn't use it to bury him at when Biden became president to release all that stuff. When Biden had clearly weaponized the DOJ, we hadn't seen weaponized as pale in comparison to what fucking Trump is doing with it. And now he goes and runs again, and they still don't use it, and they still don't release it. But yet, it's the Democrats who have make up this hoax. I mean, he released the fucking files. Show it's like show it. I mean, I just that's where I'm struggling with it. And again, it's he's playing the hits. He's you know, showcase, he's suing, he's doing all of these things again. It's the Democrats' fault. It's Biden, Obama, it's Clinton hitting the big players that everybody thinks already was in the deep state. He is the fucking deep state at this point. I mean, that's just where it's like mind blowing. His lies are building lies and they're falling in on themselves and all of these things are just it's fucking madness. He can't keep it straight. This is why when people, try to say you don't tell a lie if you're trying to hide something, because then you have to keep that straight the rest of your life. You have to keep that lie straight, and then it keeps building and it keeps building and it keeps building. Now you can't tell where you were in the beginning as you are at the end. So,
No, that's absolutely true. It's because, and that's the thing, the potential, there's a lie and a cover up is really a big deal, and people aren't going to let this go. Like this isn't going to be like forgotten about, and that's going to challenge the Teflon Trump idea. Now, look, this happens again as we're flooding the zone with crap. So DNI releases a report with sort of Russia election
yeah,
allegations,
that's
threats
another
to
good
Obama.
one.
That looks like a big nothing burger. I've looked at it. I'm trying to fully process it, but it looks like there's ultimately like nothing there, right? But it's a distraction. There's so many distractions with this administration, and the timing is so questionable. You're like, okay, like
Gabbard trying to get back into good graces of Trump.
Yeah, that and the Trump administration trying to put the target back on Obama
Right.
and Biden. It's like the timing is just so peculiar. I mean, nothing looks right. So again, maybe there's nothing to any of this, maybe, but the appearance of it is crazy. And at the same time, Dave, I've just got calls one more little Trump, post because it was such George W. Bush energy. I died when I saw it. Late yesterday, the president put out a post talking about statements made regarding the Fed and replacing the Fed chair, and he ends it. People don't explain to me, I explain to them. Dave, I saw that and that had such George W. Bush, I'm the decider energy. And I was like, these guys are all just absolute fucking jokes. So like the president is struggling right now. Like say what you want. He's struggling. He's struggling to control the storyline. He's putting out a million things. There's only one story that's staying in the news day after day after day, Trump and Epstein. And every day there's more information coming out that's raising concerns. This story isn't going away. This could really be a big, big trouble for him.
Yeah, it definitely is never not going away. And again, you can see it playing out and what's going to happen next. Where's he going to lash out to next and who's going to be the recipient of some random fucking thing now. So, all right, Andy, we hit it big today. So it was a lot of good stuff, a lot of good topics, man.
Yeah,
So,
well, it's good to have you back, Dave. I will be abandoning you next week, so yeah, I apologize in advance for that. But yeah, this was a fun way to have you back. So I'm sorry you were a little bit disappointed with Superman, but it sounds like you still enjoyed it. Excited to see where things go here, and I'm definitely planning on seeing Fantastic Four next week, so I'm excited about that.
yeah, fantastic. I don't know if I'll get to it next weekend, but I'm definitely I'm more and more excited about it. So, all right, Andy, with that, we will catch up with you on Wednesday.